Such a gorgeous day here in Middle Tennessee. Thought we'd go on our garden tour, March 2021. All these beds in front of the house here are planted with mustard, spinach, lettuce, some red Russian kale. We've got these trellises that we built out of wire fencing. They seem to work pretty well. Behind here we've got golden raspberry. We've got some sunchokes planted in this area. And around the corner, this is where we're starting our carrots every 10 days in these grow bags. We've got some thornless blackberries planted along in here as well. Right in front of me you see, in the last video I talked about that living trellis of euonymus. This is a row of brand new bare root trees that we got this year. We've got 2 Methley plums, 2 American hazels, and 2 elder bushes. Golden rain tree here in the center of the yard. And this is a Santa Rosa plum off in the shade here. Right here in front we've got about 4 or 5 blueberry bushes planted here and a raspberry in this corner right over here. There'll also be lettuce and all sorts of stuff planted in these wood chips around the bushes here. 3 more beds, cabbage, red Russian kale, radishes, carrots. This bed here is held down at the corners by 3 American hazels. We're gonna put a mimosa tree right in the center of it, which is a nitrogen fixer. And we've just got our greens in here right now. A couple of blueberry bushes, just about ready to break bud. And over here, a nice 9-year-old persimmon tree that puts off some gorgeous fruit. Going down the line here, we've got another Santa Rosa plum, figs, peach tree, sunchokes in this area, another peach, nannyberry bush, pretty new one that we just got. Some more blackberries. I'm gonna try planting something into this old rotting bush and stump as well. These 2 boxes hold some irises that we dug up and just stored in some damp leaves. They were in this bed, but we'd like to use this as kind of a sheltered nursery bed for young trees and plants. Okay, underneath the plastic is a banana tree. I think it's Blue Java ice cream cross. We've got some fig cuttings rooting in the sides here. And all underneath this straw, there's wood chips. We've got King Stropharia mushroom spawn that we spread in there. It's already starting to grow a nice mycelium mat. We've got poppies and other wildflowers in here. And these little scrawny sticks right here are some mimosa tree volunteers that I'm gonna plant out around the yard. Here's a dwarf gala apple, brand new hugelkultur mound that we built this winter. Right now that's got radishes mostly, some lettuce and cilantro. And around this apple tree we've got a black currant right here, and we've got some thorny wild blackberries planted around the perimeter. Here's our brand new, as of this winter, fenced area with a couple newly built beds in there. We've got a lot of pots with some winter sown beets, lettuces, other things. In the summertime, we're gonna try and put most of our tomatoes and peppers along this wall, and we can tie them off to that fence there. These 3-corner wire rings that have compost and leaves, we're gonna try and grow squash in those this year. Here we've got our new old shelf. It was in the basement when we moved in here last year, but we're gonna use that for some young seedlings, Gonna try and trellis on these stalks here, and probably do another trellis from this bed straight up to the roof, as well as maybe have some vining plants growing off that shelf and going along the roof supports. This old shed will be converted to our chicken house as soon as we have the bandwidth to tackle that. Right now we've got some shiitake logs from our buddies at Henosis Mushrooms in Nashville. And you see we've got some poking out this spring. Excited about those. A couple of old pear trees standing right here. One gives great fruit and one does not. So we're thinking of pollarding that, giving it a cut here, letting it regrow some sprouts for a year, and then grafting some other variety of fruiting scion onto those. Over here, Dunstan chestnut should go nicely. There's some other nice chestnuts still in the neighborhood. So if we can get that one to flowering state, should be able to pollinate nicely with this one that you see way in the background over there. This is a bed that's still in development. Hopefully we can get some nice soil in there, build it up this year. Some more grow bags. Our new trellis we built on this swing stand. Got a few things growing there. Lots of garlic, lettuces, mustards, garlic, collards, cabbage, garlic, garlic. This is a mature Bradford pear tree, which is a tree that gets a lot of flack and probably will come down at some point, whether we want it to or not. But for right now, it's doing a good job with having a lot of flowers and helping our pollinators. This is another old pear tree here that puts off a ton of fruit. Some of our other new trees: Wolf River apple, Red Haven peach, some kind of pear. I'll show you the rest down there. Here's a bed that our neighbors built, and we're using it right now. It's got a lot of peas as kind of a cover crop, and also about 15 persimmon cuttings that seem to be rooting nicely. We'll put some more stuff in here later. Black locust logs. Hope to use these for some fence posts. They keep falling from the stand of black locust, and I keep cutting them up and using them. This is a Arkansas black apple tree. Contender peach. Black currant with some garlic. Another pear. Another pear. Another pear. Another Arkansas black apple. This is our smashed defunct beehive from a few years ago. Right now it's got a lot of sunchokes planted around that. Cornelian cherry, Liberty apple. This is a tall sycamore that I tried to kill before. It branched out into multiple stems, and we'll probably end up pollarding that as well. Some other giant trees in here. Nice tulip poplar, really nice mature sycamore. And that area right there is kind of our food forest path that we're going to be working on and designing. This one is a pecan. It's grown rather nicely. It's about 4 or 5 years in the ground. They do need protection from deer's antlers down this far away from the house. We've got a brush pile, which provides some nice habitat and brush if we need it. Most of these trees you see in here are ailanthus, which is a really fast-growing, someone call it invasive species. We cut all those down, and this tall growth you see is all from last year. What we found is it served as a nice little shade for some of our young blackberries in there, and there were some volunteer passion fruit maypop that also use those as a trellis. So we might cut those again this year and let them regrow. Pawpaw trees here on the left with a little bed in between. They also have garlic around them. We've got some very rough sketched mounds that we'd like to eventually become a horseshoe-shaped bed. I'll take you on this walk and show you what we're thinking. Where I've got this brush laid out, we're gonna stand this up with the old galvanized plumbing that we took out of our house, kind of as stakes every so often. We'll make that brush wall hopefully about shoulder high to help suggest that the deer keep moving on past. This should be a bed, and the path as you walk around will kind of extend like this. We're building this bed still, trying to build up some nice soil. Here's a little fenced area that we are considering using as our grape arbor. We're gonna have a fence along here, maybe wire or wattle fence. We've got an aronia growing here. This stump put off some nice lion's mane last year, so we're gonna let that go again and see if it does it again. So that's a little bit of what's happening at the East Nashville Food Forest on March 3rd, 2021. Hopefully a lot of this stuff will be popping off soon. See you guys next time.